Listen, reach for the stars, wild ones. It's Bernadette, and I'm here with your Virgo tarot reading for April 2021. Okay, so before we get started, I've got to remind you that this is April 1st is just a couple days away. That starts my Kickstarter for my brand new book, the Spirit Totem Power Animals, the complete book of animal spirit guides, a 700-page 9x11 full-color book. It's the most comprehensive book on the subject anywhere in the world. There are 300 two pages each, animal descriptions that will bring you in closer relationship with your animal allies and nature. There are prayers and intentions. There are articles about sigils and talisman and how to create them, and there are sample interpretations and all kinds of information about numerology and color theory and just, everything that will go into you more easily recognizing and more easily being able to come again into deeper relationship with your animal allies. Kickstarter begins on April 1st. The link is in the comments below. Please, please, please do yourself a giant favor. Get this book. It's discounted during Kickstarter only. You'll be so thrilled when you get this book. All right, here we go. On to the tarot card readings. Virgo, you've gotten a really interesting card this month. You've got the koala inverted. And it's not often that I see koala come inverted, so we're going to go ahead and start to unpack this because I suspect there's a lot going on for you this month. Now, your, for your zodiac sign, Virgo, your motto is I analyze. And in that analyzation, you can really get caught up in your own head and become just the most tightly wound, oh my God, I got to get it right, I got to be perfect, really of all the zodiac signs. And that's interesting because this week when I'm filming this for the April readings, the April tarot card readings for all the zodiac signs, this week on my YouTube channel for the daily readings, there's a theme that's running that all the animal spirit guides have brought to me. And that is about allowing yourself to understand that the struggle to be perfect in every way is a false paradigm. And that it's just really time for you to embrace the glorious hot mess that you are. Thank you, Elizabeth Gilbert, for that saying. And that nothing is perfect. Everything is imperfect. Everyone and everybody and everything. So all of that being said, when you've got koala inverted, there are a couple of things to take a look at. Now, koalas have more in common biologically with kangaroos than with bears. And in spite of their nickname, they really aren't bears, but marsupials. So you can take a clue from koala and hold what's dear to you close this month, because koala carries their young close to their bodies for protection, and koalas are relatively laid back. Now, again, that is not, the laid back, that's just not two words that really find their way into your vocabulary. But Virgo, this is a really important time to strive for a more passive approach to finding happiness. You're an ace at scouring the horizon for details, and so that you can always be prepared. Now, that being said, when a koala is inverted, it's not a call for you to go the opposite way. So instead of being, super laid back, if you turn a card upside down, or if it comes out inverted in a tarot card reading, then, lots of readers look at that differently. But I look at it as whatever the challenge of that animal is, or to go the opposite way of what the upright meaning of that animal or of that tarot card means. And for you in April, Virgo, I do feel psychically that you really are called to not be so laid back, but move forward in a more rapid manner. Now, that does not mean to turn into a stress ball. Okay. That doesn't mean to get anxiety or anything like that. What it means is it's about the speed in which that you are supposed to be approaching something or doing something. And I feel like whatever gender you identify with, you're going to be doing that within a group of the gender that you identify with. And part of that part of that psychic message is coming from koalas are known to have same-sex behavior sexually. And so there's a lot of cooperation that goes on there. There's a lot of intimacy that goes on there. And there's a lot of community that goes on there. So that being said, I also know that Virgos can get really anxiety in a group because they just feel like they've always got to be like nurturing everybody and getting, can I fill up your set? Like you go to a party, that you're not throwing, and you're like, you see somebody with their drink not filled, you're like, may I fill up your drink? Or you see something on a table and you're like, you're cleaning off the table while you're looking around. And part of that may be your OCD, but it's mostly this need you have to serve and just be selfless in service to others. Like, I don't know, almost like you're a saint, or you get what I'm saying. So that said, even though April is the time for you to strive for a little bit more of a passive approach to finding happiness, passive doesn't mean slow. That just means you're not out clawing and grabbing and analyzing and, oh my God, I got to get there, I got to climb. You can just sit back and let the flow happen, because of the inverted koala bear as a spirit totem power animal, that is going to mean that you move faster, but you don't have to emotionally spin about it. Now, koala reminds you to tune into the earth, to nature, to your higher wisdom, and have faith that if you nurture what's important to you, all the rest you're going to be able to make fall in place. And one of the ways that I equate that is, koalas spend the vast majority of their time in trees, and those are the pipelines or the cable lines from Mother Earth to Father Sky. So that puts you in a great place. Plus, trees are such amazing communicators, right? The things you can learn from a tree are nuts. And furthermore, a little known fact about koalas is that you'll find them at the base of trees a lot with their backs up against the back of the tree. And a lot of people think that if they do notice that behavior, that they've got their back up against a tree so that their back is always protected, and they're being able to look around and see what might be coming at them, from their periphery or straight in front of them. And that can be symbolism and meaning that you can ascribe to koala or koala bear, as they're called. But the real story is that they do that so they can keep cool. And the trees, the trunk of the tree, especially at the lower levels and the coolness of the ground, it helps them stay cool during the hottest times. So this is a literal call for you, for you Virgos out there, to literally do some tree hugging, and make sure you do it through the month of April, because what you're going to get back from that tree, I think you're going to be very, very, very surprised at. So it doesn't really take much to make koala feel secure and happy. And that is, they don't appear to us anyway to be such complicated creatures. So that's really going to be a cue for you, like an omen for you, to just don't sweat the small stuff now. Understand that the flow that's coming in is big. And it's going to be important that you don't go crazy about it, or, go buck wild, as we say here in the South, go buck wild about it. But it is really super important that you do let it flow through you, and let that flow be as fast-paced as you can make it. Now, again, when a card is inverted or reversed, it can be interpreted different ways. It can be seen as an indication of distractions or detours that take you off the track from a potential outcome. An inverted card can also signal your potential to embody the archetype of the card if you gain deeper insights about it and adjust in this perception. And, that may resonate with you with this tarot card reading for you, you Virgos today. And that's cool. You definitely take away, it's okay. Take away from this what is calling to you, because you are being called this month to definitely get out of your own head and stop analyzing so much, and just allow yourself the permission, the knowing that whatever you're getting through your third eye, your crown chakra, and your solar plexus, whatever those are, it's real. It's not your imagination, and it's the universe trying to talk to you. Now, in this case, with koala as a spirit totem power animal inverted, it may stand for a role model of the relaxed, nurturing style you can adapt if you kind of stretch far out of your comfort zone. And maybe adopting the principle or embodying the principle that less is more. And that way you can be more successful by not trying so hard to fight an uphill battle. But again, koalas are not the fastest movers. I mean, they're not sloths, but they're not the fastest movers. And they do more than that. They tend to stay in one position for a really long time. So again, we're back with the things moving rapidly for you, but not, it won't be an uphill battle. Now, the planetary transits this month are concentrated outside of your sign. That doesn't mean planetary activity won't impact you. Starting off the month, your planetary ruler, Mercury, the messenger, and remember, we talked about the trees being the messengers between Father Sky and Mother Earth, and you staying connected to those trees in whatever way that you can. That's also going to lead to Mercury. And Mercury, being the messenger between the heavens and and the earth, it's cozying up to Neptune, and Neptune's sign of Pisces. And this can lead to some mental fogginess, confusion, maybe even some fantasy-based thinking and illusions earlier in the month. Now, let's say that you're typically immune to illusions because of your analytical skills, this is the time, like we just talked about before, this is April 2021. That's the time, Virgo, for you to, benefit from dabbling in those creative and imaginative feelings or thoughts or visions or, fantasies, you might call them, but you might be getting downloads from your muses, from spirit, from God, from your angels, your spirit guides, whatever it is you call the out there that helps you along. It at all might be sending you those creative things, so that you will start to maybe do a little bit more of a balance between, facts just the facts, numbers just the numbers, numbers never lie. In the world that I live in, messages from spirit never lie either, even though you can't figure them out on a piece of paper, and they don't. A plus B doesn't always equal C. Okay, but that said, don't lose your foundation and anchor, but use those creative outlets like a reading, reading, writing, and explore the world of what if. I feel like for any Virgo that's watching this, I feel that and when I look up and away, it's what I'm hearing psychically. I'm hearing that a lot of you do really, really well focusing and concentrating, and you do your best thinking when you just sit and write and write and write. So that is going to be a big call for you Virgos out there, is what I call sacred scribing. Now, if you have to make a clear decision about a major life change, please try to avoid doing this in the first days of the month. Your desires and wishes may influence your choices more than cold, hard facts. And on the 5th through the 20th, your ruling planet Mercury is in Aries, and this brings more direct, decisive, and clarity of thought that makes it easier for you to make the important decisions and not get all that cloudiness up in your head, right? And at the same time, Mercury is just one of several planets, including the Sun, Venus, Chiron, and briefly the Moon, to be lined up in Aries. And during this time, your thinking may become more concentrated or more concrete and militant, almost in a way. So you're going to have to try harder to slow down, even though you're typically patient and cautious. And again, when I say slow down, I just mean from making everything in your head an uphill battle. Don't stem the flow of what's coming through you, but stem your own vessel from going crackers, right? Going bonkers. Okay. Try. Even though you might see it as a pressure to move fast, when this is not your nature to move fast, you want to analyze it, and then you move forward, and then you come back and you analyze it for the 50th time, and then finally, you just fall forward and you faceplant because you don't have the energy to analyze one more thing. But you're going to want to move faster. You're going to want to at least let the flow of what's coming to you come in faster, and let go of what you can't control, and use that energy as motivation to the best of your ability. Now, by the 20th of April, 2021, again, this is for Virgos, Mercury moves into Taurus, and this energy is going to feel more comfortable for you because Taurus is a fellow Earth sign. And even as the lineup of planets come into conjunction in Taurus, the energy is not going to feel as intense and pressured to you. Now, the 20th through the end of the month, you may do well to monitor your investments and take time to enjoy what you're working so hard to manifest, like take a cooking class, spend some time in a garden, take a walk in nature, treat yourself to a luxurious massage or a new wardrobe. Practical forms of nurturing and pampering yourself and others are in order right now, and you may be long overdue for recharging your batteries and just not know it, because your mind, brilliant though it is, I can't speak for every Virgo out there, but I've known a few, like my share of a few. I've never met a Virgo that wasn't just as smart and almost like even borderline brilliant. And so when you have a head like that, when you have an intellect like that, and you've got, part of your zodiac sign, its personality, its traits, its characteristics is to, Virgo, it is to analyze, analyze, analyze. It's a wonder that y'all can ever get 1 ounce of sleep at night. So this isn't coming down hard on you or judging you or saying, that these traits are bad. They're not. It's just to really start to self-regulate so you don't burn yourself out. Now, this is also a good time, this April 2021, for you, Virgo. It is a great time to bring stability and security to a romantic relationship, whether you're just starting it or you've been in it for a little while or a long while. This is the time. And the final weeks of this month may be spent securing and grounding the intense friction and chaotic energy that you felt earlier in the month. Just chillax, chillax, chillax. All right. On the 26th, the moon in Scorpio comes into opposition to Uranus and Taurus, and will come into opposition with the sun in Taurus soon after, at the time of the full moon. This can be an important time for you to challenge yourself and let go of the superficial trappings of security and control, and find your power, from inside, not the status or the material wealth or what other people think about you or you think they expect of you. This lesson is going to be a lesson that repeats during April. It's not going to come up for you just one time. It's going to come up for you a couple times. And so you may be also called to revise or revisit your goals, making adjustments to plans, that have been important to you. And that's so that your blueprint, your wishes, your desires, your dreams can ultimately succeed. But remember, to do that this month, Virgo, you're going to have to embrace the glorious hot mess that you are, and be perfectly imperfect and be happier for it. So I hope that's helpful. Pick up your copy of the Archanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please make sure that you join gatheringofmystics.com. It's my own private forums. Very safe place. Amazing place to learn. I mean, amazing. There's so many teachers there. It's crazy. And it's a great place for you to talk about your spirituality and ask questions that you're totally like, oh my God, I'm going to sound crazy if I ask that. Not in our neck of the woods. We think crazy people are the best kind of people, just like they say in Alice in Wonderland, right? So, but as always, the most important things are to do good for animals and stay wild.